Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Philadelphia Phillies franchise on MLB The Show 20. And quick reminder to everybody to subscribe and like the video, comment down below if you do enjoy this series and the content that I have been putting out. But getting into the video, as you can see, we have some things to go over before we get into this episode's game, and that is some roster moves that we're going to be making. Victor Arano and Vince Velasquez in particular have been struggling so far this season. Arano with a FIP of 6 and Velasquez with a FIP of 5.7. Arano much worse than Velasquez. Arano's only struck out 6.6 batters per 9. Velasquez, of course, his strikeout numbers are better. Has been allowing the home run a bit more, but overall, I'm much more pleased with his performance than Arano, especially from the fact that I was counting on Arano to be kind of a great guy in our bullpen. Not necessarily great, but a guy who's really could hold it together and be part of a successful pitching staff, but he just has not been that, so we're going to be sending him down. And Velasquez. Eflin is also kind of on thin ice. 5.4 FIP, not striking out really anyone. But I don't think Howard is quite ready to play. He struggled a little bit in AAA to start off the season, so I want to get him more innings in AAA before I would make the move from him. But so Eflin is on thin ice. And so here you can see I'm making the moves. Velasquez going down to AAA and Arano going down to AAA as well. And then the players we'll be calling up to replace these guys are going to be Sir Anthony Dominguez. I know in real life he's had a bunch of injury problems. Had a great rookie season in 2018. Was a fantastic reliever for the Phillies. 2.95 ERA, whip under 1, and 2.55 FIP. Had a lot of injury issues last year. Injured in real life, which is why I held off on having him in the roster right away, but now he is joining the big league club. Is an important part of our bullpen. Then the other guy we're going to bring up is Drew Storen, a veteran reliever. Pretty well known for his time with the Nationals as a pretty good closer / late reliever. Of course, not good in the playoffs, but was good with them, and then has kind of caught on with Cincinnati last year, I believe. But he's in our minor league system, and he's been playing well in AAA, so we're going to add him to the 40-man and call him up. Getting into the game now, the Phillies are taking on the Athletics, who are 41-30. The Phillies 34-36. The Athletics are first in their division. Some Sunday afternoon summer baseball right now, something I certainly miss. And on the hill for the Phillies is Zach Eflin, the very man that I talked about, is on thin ice with a spot in the rotation and on the roster. And he's getting a chance to get the start and show that he belongs on this roster, because Spencer Howard is coming up sometime this season. So it's just going to determine if he's still on it at that point, and he does get a ground out right there to begin the game. Something he's good at, inducing weak contact. Look at the A's lineup there very quickly. Nothing out of the ordinary. And the second batter he would face, he would not induce soft contact at all, as Tony Kemp would get that one over the right field fence for a home run. Tony Kemp, the Phillies killer. Frankie Montas would be on the hill for the Athletics in this one. Not a great season from him so far, and not a great season, and not a great start to the game, I should say, as he walks Harper. Very next batter, McCutchen hits a looper into right center, and Harper, not quite sure if that one was going to get down. It did, and he got thrown out at second. On the play, now Hoskins up after a Real Muto strikeout. Hoskins hitting that one deep in the left center. That one stretches just over the wall, going out for a 2-run homer. So the Phillies get on the board early in this one against the Athletics, as Hoskins makes the slow trip around the bases. Segura now up in the bottom of the second, and he's going to hit a ball similar to the ball that was hit by McCutchen. A little lower, but similar spot, and that one gets in for a hit as well, but no runner thrown at second. Neil Walker up next, who is playing for the injured Kingery, but he's just out for a few days, so nothing serious. No IL stint for him. Now Hazley, the next batter, the 8th batter, he hits one into that left center gap, and the runners were for some reason not going, even though the ball was clearly going to get to the wall or at least get down, and Segura would be thrown out for his hesitation, and Hazley would only reach first on the play. So yeah, Segura's thrown out. Not good base running there at all. Zach Eflin, though, would come up and bunt as the very next batter and score a run. So the Phillies extend their lead by 1 on a good bunt from Eflin. And now Harper, again, the next batter. Quite the sequence, and he goes deep. Line drive home in the right center. No doubter. 108 on the exit velo. So the Phillies extending their lead even more. 5-1 now, as they take a very early lead against Montes and the A's. Montes now at the plate, and he's going to hit that one in the left center. Eflin just left a pitch right over the middle, and Montes just barreled it up and got into the gap. And that's actually his first major league hit, but I skipped past the animation because I wasn't really thinking that anybody in the other team might get their first major league hit. Now, Tony Kemp up. Phillies killer hitting that one into right center off the wall. Hazley would get it, though, but Montes would score, knocking the Phillies lead down by a run. You can see that Tony Kemp with the RBI double. So a homer and a double for him this game. We'll be keeping track of that. Now Gregori is up, bottom of the third with 2 outs, hitting one right down the left field line. Great job there, hitting the ball, going with the ball the other way, getting down for a ground rule double. Now Segura actually hits a similar ball down the opposite field line. No ground rule double, but it is a double and does score Gregorius. So little switching spaces there. And now Hazley up at the plate. He's hitting one out to left center to lead off the 4th inning, and that actually do it for Montes on the day, as Luzardo would come in. So very quick outing for him today. Maybe not quick in time because of all the runs scored, but really not as far as they would have liked him to go. Now here in the top of the 5th, this ball is going to get down in front of Hazley right there, and that was again Tony Kemp. So now he has a single, a double, and a home run right now in this game. Now Olsen coming up. Harper tries to make a jumping play at the wall, but is just out of his reach, and then Olsen brings in a run for the Athletics. So now a 3-6 game now, and now Chris Davis up for the Athletics. 2 runners in scoring position on second and third. That ball is going to be deep into right field. Harper has a strong arm, but not quite strong enough to throw the runner out at home. So the Athletics get another one there, making the score 4-6. Chapman up now. Eflin walks him, so the bases are loaded with 2 outs. He really has ran into some trouble in the 5th inning on what otherwise was a pretty good outing, but McCutchen would make the running play into the gap, so no more damage there. Mike Fiers, now the famous Astros whistleblower, on the mound for the A's. Coming out of the bullpen was a little bit surprising, but he's been pretty good, which cannot be said about most of the other guys they brought in this game. But Realmuto would walk to get on the bases here, and Hoskins would immediately hit into a double play. So nothing doing in the bottom of the 5th there for the Phillies. Adam Morgan, their lefty, their best lefty out of the bullpen, who has been good this year, would come on next in the Phillies' first pitching change of the game. And now here in the top of the 6th, facing Ramon Liriano, he's grounding one to Neil Walker as Morgan pitches a clean 6th inning. Now Yosmero Petit, something like that, is now coming on for the A's. He's had a good season for them. In relief, Tony Kemp now, and Adam Morgan finally gets Tony Kemp out. One of the first ones to do that today. Now double switch later in the game. Drew Storm making his first appearance of the season. Of course, we just called him up, and Logan Forsythe is coming in to play second base, although it's not shown here, and he's going to be sliding to the 9th spot while Storm slides into the 7th spot as Hazley is on deck. Hazley would not do anything with his at bat, and Harper would get on with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, but nothing would come of that. Now top of the 8th, where Drew Storm is pitching after getting the last out of the last inning. Not getting the out here is a no doubt home run here from Mark Canha. So the Athletics now come within 1 in this game. Austin Allen now up. Hits that one just over the head of Segura, and Chad Pinder would come on the pinch run, and this would be important much later in the game. Trust me on that one. But here, those balls are being hit out to right field, and Ryan Goings, the usually light-hitting defensive infielder, hits one out on a ball that was just left right over the plate, and you can't do that to a major league hitter because he would do that to you every time. And speaking of major league hitters, here's one, and here's a major league home run deep out to left center. Right here, Laureano getting a home run, extending their lead to 2 runs now. And now Tony Kemp, Phillies killer, coming up and hitting one off the wall. Hazley was coming in a little too hot. Ball went over his head. And so Kemp now in there with a triple, and that is actually going to be the cycle for him on the day. A crazy game for Tony Kemp, who's absolutely murdered the Phillies. So Athletics bench infielder having quite a day here. But next batter would just be looking. Now Chad Pinder, who came into pinch run the previous inning, would be playing catcher, which makes absolutely no sense as Hoskins walks, because they have Sean Murphy, who's a good catching prospect on the roster, but they're not using him for some reason. But Gregorius is using his bat to tie up this game, as that one gets over the left field wall, kind of stretches out there. That's his second big hit the other way in this game, which is really good from him, as he's usually a guy who likes to pull the ball a lot. Segura walking there, which would cause the A's to bring in Diekman, and then Quinn here pinch hitting for the pitcher here. And then here's that Pinder at catcher coming back to bite the A's. He cannot play a routine ball at catcher. Quinn would then walk with a close pitch. Now Forsythe up the dish. Pinder again can't handle the ball, so runners move up here. Of course, the A's do have another catcher on the roster, but he's just sitting on the bench for no reason whatsoever, as Diekman walks another batter. And now Bryce Harper, Phillies star player, coming up. Of course, they probably would not rather have anyone up at the plate. So how does this game end? Or how did the Phillies take the lead? Not a big home run, but of course a dropped third strike, as Pinder can't handle it. Segura as shocked as everyone else. Sean Murphy, backup catcher, still on the bench. And then McCutchen would hit one the first. Olsen not be able to handle it. So another run was scored. So the Phillies take a 2-run lead, basically on runners just running around the bases because of Chad Pinder, and then taking the lead because he can't handle the ball on an easy pitch that Harper struck out on. Hector Neris would come in to the game to try to shut the Athletics down for the Phillies. Of course, their closer, and he would have no problem, as he'd get Chris Davis on a splitter outside, Canna on a high fastball. So Neris 1 out away from closing a game where the Phillies seemingly had no shot not too long ago, and Segura would make the easy routine throw to the first right there to end this game. A crazy game right here. Really gotta love the show AI just putting a guy who's never played catcher before, because it's not like catcher's a hard position to play or anything, but yeah, putting a utility guy at catcher who's never played there before, when they have a guy already sitting on the bench. So that's just really head scratching, and I mean it cost them a game. I mean, probably would not have won, or at least wouldn't have took the lead there in the bottom of the 8th inning on the Harper drop third strike go ahead hit. So yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy ending to this game. Crazy game in general. Lots of weird things. We have a hitter hitting for the cycle. We've got plenty of weird things here, but that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you do enjoy this series, and I will see you guys next episode.